From the center of the galaxy, this is ForceCenter, show about Star Wars, pop culture, and the ultimate adventure, life itself. I'm Ken Knapsack.
I'm Jen Landa.
And this is Jen and Ken in the morning. That's right. It's the ForceCenter morning show. Joseph is out this week, buckling down on the final stages of his feature film, Dead Media. So we send our regards to him as he is hunched over probably an editing suite, Jen. But we're here to talk Star Wars news.
We are here. We're going to brand ourselves Nature Center because prior to recording, we were talking about the importance of being out in nature.
That's right. You said 2 hours a week is the total that they recommend?
Scientists recommend, yes, researchers did some studies and they found that 2 hours a week can greatly improve not just only your mental health, but your physical health as well.
I love this. Is this nature meaning I got to go to a forest, or is the Burbank walking path or my backyard okay?
That's perfect. That's all
Okay.
you need. You have squirrels. You have what else? What other creatures do you have back there?
I have skunks, a raccoon, and 4 cats. And squirrels. And they work in shifts. The squirrels got morning to lunch. Skunks got the evening. Raccoons the night. Cats the 3 a.m.
You are surrounded by nature.
I am. All right. Good to hear. Good to hear. Before we get to news, we'd like to remind you of our sponsors. And today's podcast is brought to you by our shop on Fourth Wall. Check out our merch store. Pick up a t-shirt to help support the show and represent ForceCenter out in the galaxy, or other items, because I have added more. I'm not going to go crazy with it, but there's drink coasters, pint glasses. There's more things on the way. There's stemless wine glasses I might add. So here's the thing out there in ForceCenter land. If you're interested in some merch and you want more than just a t-shirt or something else, drop us a comment. Let us know. I might buy a water bottle. I'll start making that kind of stuff. But I added more this weekend. Pretty proud of me actually checking something off my to-do list. Head over to our Fourth Wall shop. That's ForceCenter-shop.fourthwall.com. ForceCenter-shop.fourthwall.com to support the show in that way. But Jen, there's other ways to support our shows, and we're trying to reach goals with that.
That's right. We do have some goals. Our current goal is 430 paid patrons on Patreon. We keep fluctuating. There's a lot of things happening in the world. But if we reach 430, we will upload a Star Wars ranked episode, right? An old Star Wars ranked episode. And I'm going to add some visuals to it because I'm a visual learner and I personally think it helps. So I'm going to add lots of graphics, pictures, moving pictures, kid. And we'll do that at 430. But we're so grateful to all of you who share the podcast, who comment, who are patrons any way you can. We're just grateful that you're here.
We really are. Yeah, no, absolutely. And shout out to everyone in the Discord, vibrant community over there. This is our chosen lines of work, or at least one of them. There's 50 other things we also do out here, but we really appreciate your support during these tough times where just, Jen, getting depressed and going in your car and heading to McDonald's at 11 p.m. no longer costs $9. It costs $16. So, we appreciate the support.
Wow.
Yeah, I covered this on my show, The Blathering, which, by the way, you all in ForceCenter land, come hang out with us on The Blathering, too, live on my YouTube channel. Producer Steve brought this stat up that from 10 years ago, McDonald's is up 100% in prices. Taco Bell, 82%. Yeah.
Oh, my God. No wonder. I took my kids to go get Happy Meals a while ago, and I was like, I think I had a certain amount of cash. Yeah, and I was like, wait a minute. Hold on.
Hey. Sorry, kids. These are deep sigh meals that you have right now. So all that to say, we appreciate those who help us grow in all the ways, liking, subscribing, leaving comments, listening to the podcast on the audio version, supporting on Patreon. There's a lot of ways to do it. Buying merch. We really appreciate that. Before we get into the news, quick swing through life adventures. Jen, you've got the main event status because you actually traveled here. So I'll just say, I completed my Acolyte rewatch, which was interesting and a lot of fun. The things I love in the show, I love even more. The things that I question, I actually kind of now just go, I think a second season would have maybe answered some of my own questions or even problems, and it's even more of a bummer. So it's been fun, though it's a dark show at times, so I wouldn't say it's all fun, but it's been fun to complete that journey. And I've been so good, Jen, lately on keeping with my schedule, doing my to-do list, waking up and exercising before I sit down to record podcasts, that I've had a little bit more free time. So yesterday I forced myself to sit down and disconnect from work. And I read started a Star Wars book for fun. The E.K. Johnston Kira book I'm going to read for fun. I'll talk about it here, but no book reviews, no notes. I'm just going to read it as a Star Wars fan. And day one went well.
Well, that sounds amazing. I want your schedule. You could have to help me because waking up, exercising. Wow. That's good.
Jen, it's pretty simple. Just send your kids away. Send your husband to another cabin in the woods, and and send your dog away and just live alone. So the nights are rough, but the mornings are great, Jen.
That's right. But I think that's wonderful. And I think it's also important that you're reading a Star Wars book for fun, not for the likes, not for the gram, not like you ever do, but you know what I mean? Yeah. It is kind of for work oftentimes. So that's good. Yeah,
I love the character Kira. It's a couple chapters in. Already love it. I'm a fan of E.K. Johnston's work. The Padme series of novels were some of my favorite to read and enjoy and dive into. So a lot of fun. I'm going to be looking forward to keeping you all updated on that. But Jen, you actually did some traveling, some local travel, but travel that had me jealous. I don't know how much you want to share, how much you even care to share. I just want to hear, did you have pizza at that little spot downtown, and how many golf carts did you ride?
Oh my gosh, you know the pizza spot, Antonio's.
It's the best.
We passed by it. I went to Catalina Island.
Yes. Yeah, by the way, everyone, she went to Catalina Island.
I'm like, that pizza spot, that could be anywhere. And there's this spot on the kind of off of the main strip, and it was always packed. And I'm like, what is this place? Well, it turns out there's not a lot of pizza places on Catalina Island. Which is probably why it was busy. I'm like, it probably doesn't even taste good. We got a table inside. Yeah. The server was hysterical. The interior design, there's like a big buffalo head, which my kids were like, is that real? I'm like, I think so, because there's a lot of buffalo on this island. And then the best part is, you're surrounded by 8x10 glossy movie, icons that are, they have their autographs on there. William Holden, John Wayne, Anne Margaret. Like I was in heaven. And the pizza was great. It was so good.
It's so good. And and then I don't know if it's. Yeah, the men's restroom there is interesting. It's an adventure. Did anyone from your party go in there?
No, nobody used the restroom there. Why? What's wrong? I don't even remember. I'm sure that there was a restroom like tucked away.
We were there for a wedding 2 years ago, a bunch of us, and one of us from the party, it might have been Mark Ellis, might have been Christian Ruvacablo, the Wangers. Someone goes in the bathroom. We were eating outside on the sidewalk and comes in, and someone's like, "Yeah, you should just go in there." You should just say you had, just go. And it's got a lot of classic pinups from the 50s is all I'll say.
Oh my God.
To a way where you walk in and you're like, oh my, oh, I have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. I apologize. I got to go. I got to get out of here. So it's great.
Wow.
But it's such a good pizza spot that we were there for like 4 days for this wedding, and Mark Ellis went to it first, and he works out hard and then he eats hard. All right, he earns it. So we had pizza, and then the next day he and I were sharing an Airbnb, and he's like, "I'm going down to the pizza place. It opens at 11 a.m. I'm gonna go and we were waiting for pizza for breakfast. We were like at the window.
Wow,
and then we went back for dinner. Yeah. So anyways,
you went back for dinner?
Oh, that's all we ate that weekend, pretty much. So good. It's so good.
Great Caesar salad, I must say. I enjoyed that too. It's so fun.
All right. Yeah. Only half disappointed by your salad option, but okay.
I had pizza. I shared. I'm like, I had some pizza too.
If I try that, I'll just sound like Newt Gunray, which is problematic. But good. Sorry, I hijacked your story with pizza, but a good time was had.
Yeah, good time was had. There's a casino. Did you go to the casino there? The
haunted casino?
No. Wait, it's haunted? I did not know that.
Oh, Jen, you got to go back. Get on the ferry and head back there. You got to go back.
Wow.
I'm contemplating, like, can I find a way to hack out a living there on the island?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's famously haunted. Whether or not it's haunted or not, it's up for you to decide. It's been featured in a lot of ghost shows, and they provide ghost tours there as well. Yeah, we were too busy with the wedding to do it, unfortunately.
I wish I did roller skating. There was no haunting going on. Yes, in their big ballroom. My dad was like, "Oh, Artie Shaw played there. All sorts of legends played there."
Yep.
And they have this beautiful hardwood floor, and you can roller skate. And it was like, this is the best part, is us Gen Xers, millennials, that's all we used to do was roller skate or rollerblade. And then you see these like 20-something-year-olds who are just eating it. I was like skating backwards. I'm like,
you're spinning around, dancing. Just turn it into a dance. I love that. Show them how it's done.
Yeah, it was like the one thing. I'm like, at least I have that. I may not have my use, but I have roller skating.
There you go. That's a clip out for us right there. Roller skating. Well, that's good. I'm glad you had fun. No Star Wars fans you there, I'm sure. Not a lot of Star Wars on the island.
No, nothing. No, I'm always looking. I'm always on the hunt, and I did not see anything.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. No, you got to spend time on an island with family. Did you do the rope course? Did you guys do the rope course?
Wait, is it the rope course where like it's connected to the zip line place?
Yeah.
Oh, we drove by in the golf cart. We drove by it, and my kids were like, "We want to go to that," and I'm like, "No, there's some deer over here." We did not do it. Did you do it?
No. We instead went golfing, but like there's a mini golf place, like not mini golf. It's just like a tiny golf course, like literally just a putt course, but it's not like silly, and it's like buried in that like Airbnb kind of townhome community up on the hill.
Yes.
Which is where we were staying, the rarefied air. So yeah, that's kind of that's what we chose. Golf over ropes.
Yeah.
Fun kid thing.
It looked intense. We were like, maybe next year.
Next year. Always next year. Well, there you go. That's some life adventures. We'd like to catch up and share where we're at as we sit down to record these episodes. And sometimes our mind is very far away from Star Wars. Sometimes it's right in line. We do have some Star Wars news. And unfortunately, sad news to begin. We're going to get this one out here. We said goodbye this week to actor Kenneth Colley, who passed away at the age of 87. Kind of tragically, that's a long, wonderful life that we're going to celebrate here, but it's a little bit more of the story. He died of COVID, pneumonia through COVID in a hospital. He had injured his arm, I believe, and went in to get it looked at and got COVID while there and passed. So tragic story. Mask up in the appropriate places, people. Hospitals, airplanes, all those things. But his long career lasted over 60 years across theater, film, and TV. But, of course, Kenneth Colley will be forever remembered, of course, as Captain turned Admiral Firmus Piet, first in The Empire Strikes Back and later in Return of the Jedi, as well as some voice performances in later projects. In a movie that found Imperial officers dropping like flies, Jen, or Minoc flies, if you will, Piet not only survived, he got promoted, though later he did face his end in the bridge of the Star Destroyer, thanks to the sacrifice of Rebel Alliance hero Arvel Krynid. So, Jen, I wanted to celebrate the life, the times, and the work of Kenneth Colley, if you know anything beyond Star Wars, and, of course, the character of Admiral Piet. Thoughts on Piet and Kenneth's work?
You know, the Imperial officers never really grabbed me as a kid. But what Admiral Piet did was he was fascinating in that I was like, oh, he doesn't seem that bad. Like he just seems like a guy.
Just a hardworking dude.
He's a hardworking gentleman. He's comes across as very like elegant, and I would be like, if out of all the officers, I'd probably go to him if I needed help. He seemed the kindest, if that's odd to say. But yeah, he just seemed like he wasn't power hungry. He wasn't evil per se. He was just a person doing his job. And it was a little bit surprised, I think, that he got promoted. The look on his face, it's just a slight look when Ozzel is getting choked, and it's like this like surprise when he gets promoted. It's just genius, really well done.
It is one of my favorite moments as someone who did, for whatever reason, and still love the Imperial officers, which is harder and harder to say each passing day as a Star Wars fan, especially after Andor. But I do like them. There's something about them. There's something about the evil middle management stuffy nature of them. The different the infighting, and I think that a lot of that comes from Piet. And also being, incompetent and stupid and clumsy and all these things and arrogant and full of hubris. And the fact that, Vader is Vader. And as a kid, you're like, he's the top dog. You're not even worried about the Emperor or even Tarkin. You're just like, Vader's the villain. He's the one on the cover of Time magazine. And so the fact that Ozzel was kind of insolent to him and disregarded him, it scared me that could, I think maybe I thought, if I go into the working world, could that happen to me too? When I was 7. So Piet surviving it, and you're talking about that moment. I do love it because it is this fear met with, okay, I can do this, and then just that it's that as he starts to the communication starts to fade, and he looks over at clearly some troopers off to the side, and is kind of like not like chin up to like get the body. It's just one of my favorite things, and we could go deep with it. We could go the fascism. I think Andor builds out on this about fascism will just destroy you, and if you think you're not going to be next, like all those kind of things, I think that's present, and it's present in the scene of the story. And Piet gets his, but I'm with you. There was always something softer about him. He was a softer fascist, which is funny to admit, tragic to admit. But I was drawn in by the character. There was an empathy I had for him.
I don't know if it's because he feels quintessentially British to me. I've always loved British culture, like that kind of stiff upper lip, and that reminds me. He reminds me of that, and just the way that he plays everything is very small in actor terms, right? It's just very. Just like we're saying, looks. I mean, the amount of dialogue he has is like nothing, but there's no small parts, as they say. It's like he makes you believe, and that this person Piet truly exists in this world.
Yeah, indeed, and connect him with Moff Gergerod, and just the Krennic even comes along later, and I think is the perfect fit for this. Everyone climbing over everyone to just get noticed by the monsters at the top that will toss you out just as easily as they can or want or will. And I think as I grew up too, got older and learning a little bit more of the actors behind it, it was always fun to see him in other spots. Famously, I think he went forward with a lot of great parts. Was pretty active even up till last year. I think he was in a film. Looking at his resume, but Kenneth Colley, famously, he's Jesus in Monty Python's Life of Brian. And
that's right.
Learning that, I think it's probably in my teens when I learned that. It was just one of those cool connections, and the British acting industry. It's even now, as we know, it's not. I want to say small, but like it's tight. There's not a lot of there's less performers there as maybe out here, and so the fact that there's just kind of that team atmosphere, like that person, Joseph was always great to point out Doctor Who actors that show up in Star Wars, even just the costumes. So him kind of showing up on both sets and around the same time, Empire and Life of Brian, was always fascinating to me.
Now, I didn't even check. Did he have a huge stage career? Did he come from the stage? Because I'm guessing he did.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, to my knowledge, I don't have all the credits in front of me, but yes, full on career. Did the run of all the BBC shows. I'm sure.
Yes.
Looking at his list, and never became more than just the solid, dependable character actor. I think in film, but as you and I have talked over the years, things like Star Wars, I always go to Game of Thrones being just an ultimate example of grabbing that guest star, that day player, to come in and treat it like a lead and have this talent and skill to fill that one day part or that one scene part as a lead. And so the Imperial officers to me are just full of that stuff too. And maybe that's, even in these complicated times, why I kind of like them.
Yeah, I really do think, I mean, to go back to British acting, I think that the thing is that British actors know that they're trying to serve a story. It's not about their own ego. It's not about that they want to become a star. It's not about individualism like a lot of American actors are, where they just are, they want to, this is their moment, right? They get to be Admiral Piet. They're going to milk that part. But whereas a British actor understands how much more power you can have and a truly presence with just being and living the truth of that character. And how would this character react seeing Ozzel getting force choked and knowing that he could be next or not, right? Like just all these things going on that we see on the actor's face, where it's not just about, this is my shining, my breakout moment.
The starlet versus the character. And we have certainly character actors out here, but it's also just treated differently. Yes. I can't even remember where this came from, and I'm certainly not the UK expert. Our UK-based ForceCenter fans, maybe they can correct me here, but someone once explained about over there, across the pond for us, you might see a bunch of character actors that you've seen on a BBC show or you've seen in a movie or something, and that's just a person with a job that that's no different than the butcher. It's no different than the mail carrier, and not saying that individuals over there don't get famous or successful or want to be, but it just what you're describing and then what kind of shows through with these roles like Admiral Piet and why they stand the test of time is just someone showing up to do their job, and I think I like that as well. I think
so true.
Very true. Legendary character will be remembered and answered as trivia for those, especially if you need to know his name is Firmus Piet. We tip our cap to Admiral Piet, but more importantly to the man behind him, Kenneth Colley, 87 years old. Next story up here, Jen, kind of late breaking on a Sunday. Not much more to say beyond the headline, but we'll take a swing through it. The Ahsoka Season 2 directors, or some of them, may have been revealed. This was first posted on Reddit, I think one of those Star Wars leaks Reddit threads. But according to some listings on the website Independent Talent, some of the directors of the second season of Ahsoka, like I said, may have been revealed. In addition to the returning Dave Filoni and Jennifer Getziner, we might be getting Bryce Dallas Howard and Anders Engstrom. And Anders directed 3 episodes of the Disney Plus series Percy Jackson and the Olympians, so kind of a in-house recommendation hire there. So if true, Engstrom would be a newcomer to the franchise, and this would be Bryce Dallas Howard's first work on the Ahsoka series. So none of this has been confirmed, but it's one of those random sources that kind of tracks. Everything about it seems, par for the course in a good way. But Jen, thoughts on these names being added to Ahsoka or returning?
It's really interesting. I'm trying to piece together what we might get with season 2. Bryce Dallas Howard is a great actor, but she's also a fantastic director. We have seen time and again her episodes, quite frankly, always stand out. She's truly exceptional. So that's exciting. Now, these other names, Anders Engstrom, he directed Apple TV's C, which stars Jason Momoa, which was created by Stephen Knight, who wrote the Rey script, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
The Sharmina Bet-Chinoy.
Took a swing through that.
2 Star Wars Disney connections. And that was interesting to me.
Yeah, I didn't watch C. I do remember, sometimes I don't remember where I can see these shows, but I do have Apple TV now. And then Percy Jackson, I haven't seen the show, familiar with the idea and the concept and the IP, but sounds like it's potential for bigger storytelling, bigger, more widespread myth, I should say. But we've getting a lot of that. A lot of actor quotes are starting to emerge. We're not really talking about them. I want to wait till the news actually forms. Ivana Sakno saying, "Oh, it's going to be bigger. It's this and that," and Filoni talking about, Thrawn versus Akbar. We're getting a lot of bigger scale things, and if someone like him has a handle on that, that's maybe why it's a perfect fit. But we'll see how it goes. I think you got a good guiding hand in front of you with Dave Filoni to take you through it. But Bryce Dallas Howard needs no guiding hand. You're absolutely right. She is. She's, I won't even say cult favorite among Star Wars fans. She's just a favorite. All her episodes, like you said, are very unique. They have so much heart in it. We've commented on the heart. And sometimes I hate breaking it down as simple as mom energy. I just don't think that's fair to moms, of just putting you in that bucket. That's your one thing, your mom. But I can't deny that it shines through and not just in moms in Star Wars, which we sometimes have always said, we maybe want more, at least more mom perspectives. But there's just there's just that heart that shines through, that comes from family connection, that comes from found family or otherwise, but just comes from the life she's lived. And I'm excited to have that in Ahsoka and have it shine.
I agree. That's a really, really great point, is that she knows how to balance drama and action with heart. So it feels more than just like, pew pew or whatever. It has depth. And another director that's on here, Jennifer Getzinger, she directed episodes of the Mad Men, The Morning Show, Penguin, Westworld, Daredevil, and Jessica Jones. So I do think your point about it being like bigger, more epic, I think that is really taking shape.
Yeah, and I can't remember her. I know she did an episode of Ahsoka season 1 or episode 2. I can't remember which. I'd have to look that up. Maybe I should have researched my own show today.
No, me too.
I had to get up and feed the squirrels today. What do you want from me? But and I like that. You bring someone back. They're extra familiar with the characters in the world right now. I'll look that up while we're chatting. But even and going to the Bryce Dallas Howard of it all too. Like I said, I'm pitching it to you as a mother, Jen. Like I'm trying not to put any of you moms out there in the world in a box, but she does it so damn well. There's always those moments. Even going to the Sorgan arc, the first episode she shows up with in Mandalorian as a director, it's all about family. It's all about the connection. It's all about maybe Grogu's left there, but Din's starting to emerge as a father. But it's also got one of the best action sequences in that show with the ATSD as a dinosaur. So, they shot the hell out of the Naboo starfighter in her Book of Boba Fett episode. All right, looks like I think she got 2 episodes.
In Ahsoka season 1. Yeah.
4 and 5.
I don't remember which 4 and 5. I don't remember which ones those are. I'm like, oh yes, 4 and 5. I can't
Apologize,
remember.
everybody. Apologize.
No, yeah, I think that there is something. It's funny because when I was an actor and they used to always cast me as a mom, and I was like in my late 20s, early 30s, and I'm like, I'm too young to be a mom. My mom's like, no, you're not. And it was not that it was hard to imagine, right? But once I became a mom, I was like, oh, I kind of wish I could go back and do those parts again, because there is a well that just is different. It's a little bit different. And so she's bringing that sensibility to these stories, which is, it's a story of a dad and his child. And so I think it does add a little bit of something. Not to say that you have to be a parent to be able to understand these stories or to be able to pull from that, but it does add a different color to it.
Yeah. No. It's that, speaking from experience, and even like, well, I think you're right. Even as an actor, writer, director, you want to be able to understand and write many different characters or direct many different characters, and I think she does that. But yeah, what you're talking about there is that experience, that perspective that you can go back and bring to it. That's you can inform the character. Even just even here in Andor, Genevieve O'Reilly talking about, gee, I'd love to go back and replay the first scene in Rogue One where I talk about here's Cassian Andor, because now I know how to play that differently. That's just a performer. And Bryce Dallas Howard also, I want to highlight, directed the 6th episode of Skeleton Crew, Zero Friends Again. Love that episode. Love that series. Oh my God, I love that series. And that one, same kind of stuff too. I think to me the way I look at her directing and why I love it, what I'm trying to say, maybe with a lack of eloquence, but is that Book of Boba Fett episode where Din is traveling. He's just traveling on that, like, basically public transportation. You got that mother and child there. I think the Rhodians, and just that interaction and just spending time with it. But also having an episode where you have this epic Darksaber kind of confrontation fight. You got the Naboo starfighter, and it is episode with the armor and Peli that is about the two mothers of Din in a way. That's a great use for it. But I can't wait to see it. And a lot of people, Jen, this comes up a lot, and I'll end this discussion of Bryce Dallas Howard and the directors of Ahsoka here, of of wanting her to do more, about wanting her to get a movie or a series. It's a crowded space right now in Star Wars. Let's just get one out. Let's just get one movie out and see where we can go from there. And let's get Mandalorian and Grogu in the theaters. I still am hopeful that we'll see more of her work and that she's in the Star Wars family to stay.
I really hope so. I haven't even thought about that, but why not have her helm her own show, be the showrunner, do what Tony Gilroy did? I mean, there's no reason, because she knows how to tell a story. It always looks so good. Like, I can remember some of the shots from that episode. The what was it? The Book of Boba Fett? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
The Book of Boba Fett. It just was like, give her something. I'm happy that we have her back. But I too want a little bit more. Although I know that she still is acting. She was in that, wasn't she in an Apple TV show or something?
Couple things. Actually, almost like, I almost would describe it as a bit of an upswing back into acting, where she didn't announce she was stopping and everything, but obviously the directing is maybe where she ultimately wants to end up, much like her father. But unlike her father, who shows up every now and then as a narrator or a cameo of a version of himself. I loved his work in the studio. If you all haven't watched that show, I really love Ron Howard's cameo on that. But yeah, she is kind of getting up. So yeah, and she voiced Yaddle. I know that, but I would love for her to appear in live action as a new character. I think it'd be fun.
More Bryce Dallas Howard.
More Bryce Dallas Howard. Ahsoka is a little bit ways away. We don't have an actual release time. Production's going on. Too early to really speculate. We know it's bigger, better, bolder, according to some of the people behind it, as the story spins on out. So, Jen, in final thoughts, any faraway expectations on Ahsoka Season 2 now with these names involved?
I think it's going to be epic, dramatic, moody, and very stylized. And I'm excited for that.
Moody. I like that. Yeah, absolutely. Especially if you're going to touch any World Between World Mortis stuff. Gonna be a little different. Well, that's it. That's the news. But we are not out of here. Jen, we kind of knew this is a little bit of a lighter news week, and we didn't have as much to say. I'm also trying to, wait to, like I said, news actually forms, even though occasionally we need to go into the rumor world. But I have a couple little questions for us, Jen. If you're game.
Yeah.
Okay. Star Wars mini questions. At the end of this week, on July 13th, Harrison Ford celebrates his 83rd birthday. What is your favorite Han Solo gesture or reaction?
My favorite Han Solo gesture is from Return of the Jedi, that shrug that he gives. I can't even do it. Right? It's just,
yes.
It's so funny. And if you think about it, Han Solo has so many great meme faces. We see his GIFs and the still images of him, whether it's like, right, that one, who, me, in Empire, right? There's just so many. What are your favorites?
I love the point, and I love that it comes back with Ben Solo and Kylo Ren. I think that's spectacular. The shrug is great. I also, there's one of my favorite reactions, and also Han Solo line is, Luke Skywalker saying, "I was born here," and Han just being like, "Well, you're gonna die here," with just this quintessential Harrison Ford stoned on a late night talk show kind of energy. It's just like perfect. He's so deceptively witty, I think. But also there's those moments. I love the moment where he just does kind of actually get them out of a situation in Empire Strikes Back, and Leia kind of says, you have your moments, not many of them, but you have them. She kind of gives him that little reassuring kiss on the cheek, and he's just kind of got that, like, there's this like internal pride that's beaming, but he's still too cool for school to just kind of be like, I got approval for the princess. Oh my God. And he plays it so small. I love that. And then even in Empire, the whole, as uncomfortable as it might be, the whole, Leia and Luke kissing, but Han all through that, and the look behind Laugh It Up Fuzzball. So it's a great line, but his face is kind of just a gesture. His whole face is a mood and a vibe. And absolutely love that. Absolutely love that. 83 though, Jen. Have we wrapped our brain around that number? Age is a number, and he's doing and looking great, but it's crazy.
Yeah. How is that possible? Oh my gosh. I bet you he spends time in nature.
Crashing into it with the plane, but yes.
Oh no. Oh
Yes.
no.
No, I don't think he's flying as much. Who knows? I don't know. I bet he's still flying. I don't know.
Oh, I hope not.
And he's still going strong. Yeah, you could, he's still working. And I know there's talk of him retired, and he's mentioned it. And Johnny Williams is up there, and I think sadly starting to slow down finally. But looking at Harrison Ford at 83, Jen, I don't know, I looking at my own driver's license, the years are rolling by, but I look at him and go, you know what? We're all good. We all got a lot of time. I'm going to be like Harrison Ford.
He looks great. He looks like he's in good shape. He's still quick. He's still got it, even at 83.
He's still got it. All right, Jen. 2 follow-up questions. This is one question. Well, 2 disguised as one. What is one Glup Shitto you'd add to Andor? And then what new Andor character would you add somewhere else in Star Wars, and maybe even where?
Okay. I know what I want to say, but it's too absurd, and it would never happen. Tony Gilroy would throw me out of that writer's room. He'd get out of here with that. But I kind of have a thing lately for Jackson, and I don't know if he's a Glup.
I don't think
I mean,
the definition's a little wide of what a Glup Shitto actually is, but we're going with it.
Maybe I'm just shoehorning in a Legends character. I just think, can you imagine him walking around Andor? I think that they could make it work. I think that they could make him look dark and gritty. I don't know how.
Dark and gritty rabbit, love it.
But it'd be kind of amazing. Maybe if he had a family and they stumble upon his village, there's a way to kind of make it work, I think.
Who's going to stumble on his village? Is it the Empire going to stumble on his family's rabbit hut?
Yes. Or burrow? Maybe it's underground. That's kind of cool.
Okay. I'm on board. This is not a bad idea at all. Not a bad idea.
It would fire me.
It's good. I'll share mine here. My Glup Shitto. Look, the easy answer, because it would make Brian Ward's dreams come true, is Dexter Jetster. Cassian should have gone to his diner for some information. That was a missed opportunity. But Dexter's singular. He's not a Glup Shitto. He's a key part of the Star Wars story. I do think, and again, definition of Glup Shitto might be wide here.
Yeah.
But I would absolutely love to have seen Babu Frick, an early version of him, a Babu on the rise, run into Cassian. If Cassian's in the underworld, Cassian's got to get information. Whatever's going on, Luthen's got to get something. Imagine Luthen Rail and Babu Frick having a conversation. Imagine them trying to come together,
Oh.
That's where I want to go. I want Luthen to have to show up at Babu's door and be like, "Yeah, can you repair this droid? I need it. I need everything." I'm not even going to do the Babu voice because I'm so bad at it. But that's
Is that it? That's kind of close.
That's the one. That's the one.
Oh.
And Babu he's adorable. And I think he is put in that category of cute characters that make you giggle. But he's a droid blacksmith for a criminal organization that has been in place for a while. I think you look at his collection, look at all the things he's worked on. And also, I keep looking in terms of Cassian, but Luthen Rail's the one collecting a lot of things in the past. And maybe him and a young Clea go around and find a young Babu who's, got a battle droid that they want to take to display or something like that. I think that's where it would cross over. Luthen and Babu Frick.
Tony would like your idea. He'd say, okay, go write the script. Because that is actually really good. Because Babu, it reminds me of Granny, that kind of silly, weird, funny, but still can fit within the world. I can totally see that happening.
Let's make it happen. Andor season 3. We still got time. Maybe that prequel that we all want of Andor and Andor on Yavin 4. The Yavin year. That's maybe that will be the case. But the other part of the question, Jen, if you could take a new character in Andor, a character new to Andor, and put them in the rest of the Star Wars galaxy or a specific movie, story, or plot, what would you do?
I want more Dedra Miro, just because of where we left her.
Mm.
I think that the character would be really fascinating to see how she would evolve or not. Maybe she would double down. Maybe she would want revenge. But where would I put her? That's part of my problem. I don't know what story that she could fit into.
Yeah, it would be maybe that Mando season 3 vibe. If she's out of prison and she's part of maybe the rehabilitation program, that could be, then you could actually, because there's fans of Dedra Miro, and a lot of us were behind her, especially in season 1, until we kind of realized maybe who she was and what she was doing, and we knew what team she was on. But if she goes through a rehab program, I think there's room for empathy, compassion, and understanding of her new place in life that we might get behind her.
And then she'd have a horrible end, of course, because she has to pay in some way.
Some way. I think that's a great answer. I am going to what might be, I don't know, obvious in one way, but I'm taking B2 Emo.
Oh, wow.
Taking B2 Emo, and I'm putting B2 Emo in the new Jedi Order film alongside BB-8.
Wow.
I want post to me Bix and the child. I think they survive and live kind of a peaceful life. Maybe she does get involved in the rebellion or gets involved in the New Republic. Who knows what happens there? But I think B2 Emo, running around playing tag with other droids. I think there's great use for a refurbished, freshened up version of B2 Emo, running into the sassiness, the snarkiness that is BB-8, and the joy and the pure kind of heart of B2 Emo, as much as the droid can have a heart. So I'd love to see them interact, and maybe he could bring back a little bit of joy in BB-8, who has joy, but by the end, BB-8's been through a lot. BB-8's fought some wars. BB-8 was on a Star Destroyer alongside Orbax fighting, so maybe they could be part of this new galaxy together as friends and cohorts.
I love that. I feel like that'd be a great children's book too. Someone write that. The story of the two droids. It'd be so cute.
Yeah, okay. I'm on board for that. There you go. Do one of those little golden books. B2 Emo.
Yes.
BB-8.
Exactly.
Well, there you go. We did it. We answered some silly Star Wars questions. And if you have an answer down below, let us know if you're watching YouTube or on social media. Or in the Discord. Let us know what you answered those questions with. You can find us on social media at ForceCenter Pod. Our Facebook page is ForceCenter Podcast. The podcast is available on Acast, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and more. Every Sunday, we release Databank Brawl, our rebroadcast of that show. Check it out. Merch available at tpublic.com/user/ForceCenter, and you can support us directly at patreon.com/ForceCenter, as we said at the top. That gets you into our Discord. You can follow me at KedNapzok. Or go to my website, kennapzok.com. As I said, I have my live show, Mondays, Thursdays, and most Saturdays, called The Blathering Live. Come hang out with all of us there. Call in live to the show. A lot of fun. Jen, where can I find and follow you?
You can find me on Instagram, YouTube, Blue Sky at Jennifer Landa, and TikTok for the time being at Jennifer Landa 1138.
For the time being, indeed. All right, that is it. We'll see you next time here on ForceCenter.